What's going on, everybody? Mundo Marcus here at Subsess.com. This is the final video of free course number 1. Start small, win big. Now, when we started this course, we started in just focusing and realizing exactly where our advantages are, right? What are those leverages that give us a competitive advantage in an industry where we have to come in and compete as young entrepreneurs with entrepreneurs who have been in the game for 10, 15, 20 plus years. We also now have clearly identified who our ideal clients are and where we're going to find them, as well as the ways in which we want to find them, right? I laid out to you guys different methods that we used at the beginning and the email method that we still use to continue to get new opportunities and new clients in the door. So for this video, I want to start off with piecing it all together. We don't want to overlook the internal work. Those first 3 videos of this course are definitely the internal work. Realizing exactly what is it in this industry that we understand. Is it painting? Is it drywalling? Like, what is it? Because the more niche down you can be, the better you're going to be at identifying who your clients are and the value that you can bring to them. That boring work, it's going to create the simplicity that you need going forward. It's going to create that simplicity that you need to be able to grow over to $1 million a year. Creating simplicity is going to give you the repetitive compounding results, right? Which eventually just turn into consistency because it becomes automatic. It becomes a habit. It becomes something that you wake up and if you don't complete it in that day for some reason, you're just going to feel like you didn't do anything until those tasks are completed. That's the kind of way we want to start viewing these boring tasks. The outbound, the following up, the stuff that you feel is a waste of time is actually the fuel for you to be around for the next 5 to 10 years and be somebody who dominates within your niche. There's a quote that I like from Bruce Lee. Water flows or it can crash. And I like this a lot because I look at it the same way that I look at our marketing in-house. If we do the marketing, it's going to cause our businesses to continue to flow and have fluidity and leads coming in. So when jobs are closing, new ones are starting, and it prevents those 1 to 2 months of stagnant times where the guys don't have anything to do, where the business doesn't have any income flowing in. Now, if we don't focus on those fundamentals, if we don't focus on setting systems on how to consistently have these leads coming in, then our business is going to crash. Just like the water can flow or crash, your business can flow if you put enough attention to it at the first 2 years, or it can crash if you overlook those 2 years and then just continue to work the way you have been. So I want to share with you guys 5 core items that not only keep me grounded, but they also allow true growth to happen inside of our business and inside of my personal life. Number 1 is understanding that results take time. Subconsciously, we always delay starting anything that we know we need to start. It's safer, easier, and it's just the natural thing to do. But one thing I've realized throughout my years in entrepreneurship is that the sooner I'm able to see what's not working and the sooner that I'm able to address that issue, the quicker I get to the result that I'm looking for, right? The quicker I can have us drive past that. So again, at the beginning, I was sending out lots and lots of outbound email. But as soon as I realized, hey, sending out thousands of email isn't making any difference, right? I have to send out 100 to 150 emails to get one opportunity. There's something going on. And so I spent 13 hours in one day just sitting down and realizing what could it be until I came up with a better way of creating a list. And now that list, I only need to send out 50 emails to get 5 opportunities. And so I had to invest a lot of time up front, but now I have all that time that I invested, those 12, 13 hours that I invested in that one day. Now I can turn around and see, okay, what can I do in operations? What are other areas that need to get fine-tuned for the next phase that we're looking to go into? Number 2, know your limit. Now there's 3 main parts of knowing your limits that I think are important. Number 1 is when you're working. You have to know when to continue and when to pivot. For me, I have to know when to continue to try and figure things out and when to simply just let them carry out so that in 3 months, in 6 months, I can see the results. And that then tells me when to pivot. Now, when you're out on the job site, one of the things that me and my dad have focused on is that you have to know when to push the guys to finish something and when it's better to just cut their day a little short and have them start fresh the next day, because of the quality difference that it has. You have to know your limits in managing. Okay, this is one thing that my dad has constantly made me aware of, right? You have to know when to demand something that was clearly stated to an employee and then when to sympathize because maybe you did a poor job in communicating what exactly you expected. You have to know the differences here. And you got to know your limits and your knowledge. Now, this one is big, in my opinion, because I'm always looking for ways to shortcut my learning curve. And I've now been able to grow into being able to completely shut down my ego and say, I don't know this thing that's going to take me to the next step. And so I have the ability now to see somebody and hear the way someone's talking and understand that, hey, they have more knowledge and they can teach me this, right? And so when you don't know something, the best answer is exactly that. I don't know. And you start from there. And at that point, you're already growing because you're accepting that you don't know how to email, how to follow up, how to whatever. But that learning it, you're going to go into that next phase that you're looking for. And so, again, it's about identifying the thing you don't know or where you need help on, and then taking action on that once you find the answer. Number 3, focus on what matters. Okay, in the beginning, if you're anything like us, when we're starting off, we didn't even know where to get clients from. So all you have to focus on, especially that first year, maybe even the first 2 years of your business, is finding the leads, nurturing those leads, and then converting those leads. These are going to be the only 3 focal points you should focus on until you have about 10 clients or you're hitting about $1 million in revenue per year. Everything else that doesn't have to do with how to get more leads in the door, how to convert more leads, and how to nurture those leads is practically a distraction, because in the beginning you don't have the volume, you don't have the repetitions in just yet to think of other ways, right? Don't jump ahead to the 15th step when you need to focus on those first 3 and then compound onto those. Number 4, daily wins. These are something that, in my opinion, are very overlooked because of how easy they can actually be. A lot of people, I think, have the misconception of all these online gurus telling you about all these daily tasks that they do in order, like they get overwhelming, but they can also be really, really simple and really efficient. The small daily wins are important into compounding to your 10-year vision. If you can set 3 to 5 daily wins, right, and even combine those with weekly wins every day and every week, you're gonna accomplish that goal. And accomplishing that goal is rewarding for us as entrepreneurs because we feel like we're advancing forward, especially when you can take the time to identify the real small details, those nuances, weekly progress reports, nurturing, how many emails to send out each day. All these little tasks actually compound at a rate that you have no idea when you do them for 6, 7, 8 months in a row. And as an example, when I started, all I was focused on is what you guys see on screen, right? 2 to 3 new outbound emails, 2 to 3 follow-ups, and 1 to 2 submitted proposals per week. Like, this gave me the ability to know that if I had to miss maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week because I had to be hands-on, I knew that the other 3 days that I had within that week, I was still going to be able to hit these goals because of how small and how attainable they are. Now, a lot of you guys may be ahead and you want to do 5 to 10 emails. You can do those, but in my opinion, it's better to start with 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and grow your way up until you can hit 10 to 20, emails or outbound messages a day. Currently, I'm about 25 to 30 outbound, mixed between calls, emails, and texts. But again, it's taken me almost 2 years to build up to that point because now I know and I have a lot more time because of the time I invested at the beginning. But regardless of what you choose or what goals you decide to set, make sure that you hit your daily goals. There's nothing else that's gonna give you a higher return than making sure you set simple goals and you hit those daily and weekly. And number 5, downtime equals review time. Now, I know that this might be one that's a little harder, but I still think it's gonna give you so much more rewards when you actually focus in on it, because this is what's gonna tell you what's working and what's not. How many emails are getting viewed? How many of them are getting replied? What kind of replies are you getting? Are you even generating a response, right? Are you hitting your daily goals? Are you hitting your weekly goals? Is your email list getting low? What's the feedback that you've been getting on proposals that you have sent, right? Are they getting accepted? Are they telling you you're way too high? When you have downtime, you want to review all of these small steps. You want to constantly stay on top of these, because recently I've heard Alex Hormozi say, if you feel like you have no problems inside of your business, you're way too far. Any business at any level has things that can get worked on, has processes and systems that can be better. So if you feel like your business is flowing naturally, you're too far away. You have to spend more time reviewing. You have to get into the nuances, into the details of these things to find the constraint that's in there. There is a constraint, because if there wasn't, you would already be at $10 million a year. Our goal is to find that constraint and jump on it to solve it as soon as possible. And so again, those 5 core items that have helped me tremendously in our first 2 years of business have been, number 1, results take time. Just accepting that has given me a lot of peace, because I know that I'm going to be here for the next 5 years. Know your limits. Know when to pivot. Know when to ask for help. Focus on what matters. Okay, don't be thinking about how you're going to become the next GC when you're only a sub and you don't even have consistent work. Focus on getting consistent work and let things progress. Daily wins will get you closer to that 10-year vision that you want. Break down your 10-year vision onto what can you do every day for the next year so that you can get closer to that goal. And downtime equals review time, right? When you're at home, when you're bored, look at the things that you need to work on. Look at what's working, look at what's not. Look 2-3 weeks ahead and see what kind of work do you have coming up. If you don't have any work, it's better to start marketing ahead of time than waiting for that week to be there with no work. Stay ahead of the curve. All right, so those are the 6 components to creating opportunities if you're starting off as a subcontractor. You want to identify your leverages. Okay, where do you have the biggest advantage? What is the one thing within your industry that you know better than anybody else? Focus in on only that. Identifying who your client is, right? Who have you worked for in the past? Do you primarily prefer to work with homeowners or general contractors? All right, but the thing is, you want to pick one client offering one specific service, and that's going to get you to your first $1 million. Number 3, you want to generate free opportunities. You want to find leads, connect with those leads, follow up with those leads, and then repeat that until you have opportunities that are consistently coming in. Number 4, you want to create your email list. Okay, you want to consistently create this list because a quality list is going to give you growth. If general contractors is who your ideal client is, spend the time in building this list. It takes time and it's boring. Do it anyway. I've outlined the outbound emailing process for you. I gave you all the steps to creating your list. I gave you the template on what to say. You don't have to break your head around figuring that out. You just have to go do it. And number 6, man, start small and win big. Set those daily goals. Set those daily tasks for you to continue to complete Monday through Friday every week for the next year. And you'll see how fast your business grows. So if you want to get more free courses, go onto the website. Under the free courses, you'll be able to see free course number 2 and free course number 3. If you see that they say upcoming or coming soon, that is because they're in the work of process. And the idea is for you to take this course 1, take action, because in the next 30 to 60 days is when course 2 will be ready. And at that point, the follow-up process and the details that I'm going to be reviewing in that course are going to make a lot more sense for you to put into practice on your day-to-day activities within your business. I look forward to sharing that with you and watching your business grow.